afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, another riveting, another amazing Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda, Hero of Psych, Defender of the Fatherland, of hitting and signing a 1 versus 1 on Langraskaya. The setting is 1944. Somewhere in the Ukraine, the Red Army advances here under the command of Sotjador. Possibly misspelling Sotjador. Anyways, fighting here for the Soviet Union, Socialism, Communist Stalin, and the 10th Guards Mechanized Corps North. You got ShogunCho fighting for the Oberkommando of Germany, Deutschland, fighting out here for the 11th Panzer Division here with a Luftwaffe ground forces here. And immediately interesting, the double Panzer bulletins are monuments with the Panther and the bit of infantry. So it has been, I think, a bit of a shift there for more Oberkommandos players trying out, I think, Luftwaffe ground forces. But I'm not entirely sure how much it's catching on fully as a meta thing, but it's there. Special Rifle Command counter there for Sotjador. Standard stuff. That'll probably be penal troopers, maybe a scout car. We'll see how that works out. Sturmpioneer wiring off as they're trying to grab munitions point as well, noting no immediate push for the fuel, just sort of more of a slow pacing here. Sandbags up in the cuff point to help defend it against any vile Marxist attacks. Sandbags, your insurance against communism. Unless they use it as well. In which case the sandbags might be in on it. Never trust the sandbags. More sandbags up here for ShogunCho. Fulton up in the east. Penal just on the way there for Sotjador. The Strafniki, which could be composed of many sort of types of people. Tank crews were, for example, also composed of them, usually because they'd abandon their tanks without permission to do so. In fact, usually if the tank was not completely destroyed, they did not have permission to abandon the tank. Because there have been many cases of basically people just running away from the tanks. At least that's what the reports came back to headquarters of Stavka. Also, additionally, in case you got your tank stolen, which also happened for some Soviet tank crews, of course, but other Soviet tank crews who lost their tanks. So there were certainly plenty of people ending up there just from tank crews into the penal battalions. M31 filling up here for Sotjador. Fulton moving out here, Fulton moving up here, notice sandbags up here. Note the way he's using in this case around the cart. That way it means if the opponent tries to shoot, he's going to more likely stick around the cart itself, since he can't then actually make full effective use of the sandbags, which decreases the value then of the enemy. A neat little trick there. Used there by ShogunCho. We got the M3 moving out there. The White Scout guys are also known. An American piece of Land-Lease equipment. Scout coming in, the penal troops coming in there. Heading off on the way for ShogunCho, obviously as soon as he sees that one. Probably could have gone for it a bit sooner. Either way though, he's definitely going to need here versus the M31. It's either it would need more Sturmpioneers, since 2 Sturmpioneer scores can actually shoot an M31 to bits and reach them a short amount of time. In this case though, note he's focusing on the Fulton committees, allowing the Sturmpioneers a lot of free shots here. And clearly ShogunCho's taking advantage of that one. Right now we got Sotjador there, trying to highlight the necessity of focusing on the M31 instead. Stop ignoring me, fascists! It is hurting my feelings. Well, you're hurting my body with your machine gun. I don't care. My feelings matter more. Full to the Western Unions in the west, we got like Kednev out here for ShogunCho, ready to counter the M3A1. Full to sneaking up here behind. And a truck as well for ShogunCho. Concerning the timing, that is going to be a Belgrove headquarters. Kampfgruppe Hauptquartier. Likely a flak half-taker could be a good choice versus Sotjador. But yes, you know, machine guns. Plus, of course, the medics. Mines up there. Good spot there by Sotjador. Also, generally spot that tends to get mines. So if you're sort of playing on this map, it doesn't hurt to check the mines around here from time to time, depending upon... Unless, of course, the Americans, because Americans, most of the time, never build mines. Of course, it doesn't hurt to do it, but you're forced to it, I guess, versus the Americans, is what I'd say here. But there's a CERT player or an Oberkommando West player. This is a pretty good spot to check, even as a Wehrmacht player, since they could lay down some termites there. So a bit of advice in terms of playing on the map. Truck here just standing about. Could be actually playing for the Mechanized Regiment. I mean, it'd be a pretty early truck just for a Mechanized Regiment. But it's not impossible. Almost got the fuel here. We got the Kednev on victory point. Kednev running up. Skirmishing here. Fulton slowly using out to the penal troopers with SPT-40 semi-automatic rifles. Laying down a higher volume of fire. Plus, of course, the scout car providing heavy cover. And seems like Heinz there got a bit stuck. Tragically so. Kednev coming up there, that's going to get shot to bits if it doesn't quickly. And there you go, we got the Banhand gun off on the Strafniki, burning them up and sending them running. And he does go for the Mechanized Regiment. It really did seem to me like Belgrove headquarters move, but Mechanized also is popular with the Luxus still, of course. And certainly it looks that your opponent's drives to counter in the early game can really spiral out of control fast, and of course that is clearly what ShogunCho is aiming for, spiraling this thing out of control. Snowballing it into glorious German victory. Schnapps, beer, pretzels. Anyways, Strafniki there getting going for the next push here for Sotjador and the 10th Guards Mechanized Corps. Troops are reinforcing. Mechanized Reckoning almost down there for ShogunCho. And we got the Continental straight for the fuel point. Good play there. Taking advantage of ShogunCho's focus there. And possibly the realization, the lack of realization that his fuel point's about to get hit. Sturmpionier dealing here with the Strafniki up close, the Sturmgewehr 44 or Maschinenpistolen 44. Basically a matter of name, since mechanically there was absolutely no difference between the two. Really. Full to flank against the penal troopers here. Fortunately up, he got sandbags up. Pieces now. The sandbags are getting sandbagged. Cheeky. Sandbagception. Sato charge goes off, that makes a big boom, but beyond that, not much. ShogunCho, of course, he is now cleared for the Luftwaffepanzer. Fuel point there rendered neutral, but Sotjador was not able to claim it yet for the Red Army. Sturmpionier reinforcing. Sandbags up here again from out. He's basically just using to grab territory because, I mean, he was just going to do nothing with it. It's a waste of resources. It's very understandable there what ShogunCho is doing with it. We got the Luftwaffepanzer on the way there for ShogunCho. Roughly 100 of them were made, a bit more than that, but there were also roughly the same number made of other reconnaissance tank based off the Czechoslovakian Panzer 38T, which actually was very much similar to the Lux, except the turret was more similar to, say, the 222's turret. But otherwise, same gun, I would say, roughly same arm and all that. It's a little fun fact there. But that one tends to get less talked about, I guess. Don't know, it's got something to do with it being a Czechoslovakian, origin, maybe. Less flashy than the Panzer II. The Panzer 38T in general just, was some very flexible bases there that, while the tank itself didn't see a lot of usage besides, I think, like the first couple of years, because the Germans lacked tanks themselves and had to make use of whatever, which included all the tanks the Czechoslovakians made after, annexed the Sudetenland for the Czechoslovakian there, which was by the second largest arms industry in Europe. I mean, it's all purpose for a lot of your things, the Marder, the Hetzer, the Grille, and more. There was also the Gepard flak panzer, and of course, the reconnaissance tank, their Beethoven as well. I mean, it was a really sort of solid chassis itself. Even if it couldn't really hook a lot of big guns with the turret, it still saw a lot of usage in a lot of other ways. So, a little fun fact there. Bit of a history lessons. Got Raven over the Sotjador. Pimps are pushing back like Ken. If he didn't lose it, pretty lucky there. I mean, of course, there's a bit of risk there for ShogunCho. He can also begin calling in the fallschirmjaeger here to sort of support his troops and giving in some elite infantry wouldn't be bad. Sotjador here with Guard Rifle is an interesting choice, considering, I mean, he doesn't exactly have a lot of conscripts, so he doesn't exactly, for example, gain a lot here, and he's just the PPS 841 upgrade. But we got take up there for him, and we got the fallschirmjaegers up for ShogunCho. Looks like it's going to be a bit of a risky drop here in somewhat hazardous territory. Or where is he dropping them? Alright, that is a deep drop here for ShogunCho. Clearly a believer in that nothing wrong happened at Crete. All the way going here right behind and mounting the calf point with the fallschirmjaegers. Luke's being pushed back here by the anti-tank rifle wielding penal troops in the east. Also pushed back the country there, and we got the take up almost done here for Sotjador. Cut off point there hit, and of course also affecting the retreat point there, but he's taking some mana losses anyways there. A few lucky hits there from the Strafniki. Luke's going to need some repairs. They almost lost it there for ShogunCho, which would have been a bit of a harsh loss here for the 11th Panzerdivision. Penal troops engineers moving up here. Maybe a well-timed grenade could throw off this attack. And who knows, maybe Sotjado's expecting it, but in this case he just retreats. There's also, of course, in this case, the consideration of the throwing time of the grenade. And sometimes there's so many units that have been wiped while they're trying to throw a grenade or pop a Panzerfaust. So it simply could be that ShogunCho decided that's not worth it. A few assault rifles that are being handed out to ShogunCho. We got the T-7 there for Sotjador. It also, of course, have the Raketen, but ShogunCho could theoretically commit to a Puma as well, though. Considering he's going for Luftwaffe, he's more likely going to try and push, I think, a fast for schwerer panzer quarters here at this stage. Fallschirmjägers standing about, waiting for something to happen in terms of reinforcements. Flanking the nears here. T-70 almost down there for Sotjador and the Red Army. Kedinov creeping up again. More soldiers on the way, and we got the Luxis setting up once more for ShogunCho. Pushing away the full grenadiers there with a few well-placed SVT-40 semi-automatic hits, and we got the T-7 that's running out for Sotjador. 2 light tanks in the field. Sotjador going here for the truck already as well. Considering the timing and considering what he did with the other truck there, I mean, he could very well just trying to set up for the Schwerpanzer quarters well ahead of time. T-70 rolling about here. Looks just on watch. Obviously can't really do much against the T-70 Looks. I mean, he can do some damage, but he's obviously very unlikely to try and take it out with it. Creeping up then nonetheless it seems, or at least just to screen any sort of attacks there, pushes by Sotjador. Troops in reinforcing, truck arriving, still a bit more to go for set up the Schwerer Panzer quarters. Or Schwerer Panzer Hauptquartier. Looks like now the penal troopers there, punching a few holes into them, very large holes. T-70 shoots, bounces off the Lux light frontal armour. Like Kedinov creeping out, that's going to try and take a shot there at the T-70 light tank. Big push here by ShogunCho, shifting up some infantry there, but decides perhaps against it, going to move elsewhere. Partly I imagine in response here to Sotjador sneak up on the eastern side here. He has upgraded his conscript there with submachine guns. He believes in the power of the PPSH-41. Need to cover over the Lux though. Fallschirm makes back up with a Gibraltar Ladung. Oh! Sotjador very close to something a full wop. He was a bit slow to retreat here in the face of that bun grenade. A Kedinov and able to support. Panzerfaust Dorothy on the T-70 slowing down in a bit. Eastern Victor Point being grabbed here by Sotjador's conscript. Bird being fortunate. We got Lux moving in here, punching a few extra holes in the T-70. Fuel cache up here for Sotjador, by the way. Didn't quite see that one in the first place, but a good move there. But Sotjador allows him to pull more fuel ahead here, and particularly also helps with the harassment he's currently suffering from ShogunCho. It means he might be more on schedule here. We'll have to see if he tries for, say, another T-70 in H-6 here versus ShogunCho right now. Just going to just try and go for the mechanized armor company. Come hell or high water. The other big thing I would say is that Sotjador has yet to go for any guards, rifle infantry, considering how, you know, very much common they are and how effective they are. I'm a bit surprised he has yet to go for any guard squads here versus ShogunCho. Troops healing and forcing, grabbing the victory point, also sneaking about. And he's going for the support company. Clearly an indicator he's away, he's not going to be able to go anywhere fast anyways in terms of tech, so he's going to go for field guns most likely, maybe a Maxim. T-70 spotting ahead here, penals moving westwards, he reinforcement healing continuing there for ShogunCho. Grabbing the point here, grabbing the point there. Heading for the center victory point. Lux setting out there once more, right into the penal troops with the anti-tank rifles. A few shots there punching through the frontal armor easily. ShogunCho committing to the second Kedinov here versus Sotjador. Clearly worried about enemy armor as well, and wants to make sure he's got the counter ready. Not a bad idea. Mines up to cover the flanks. Good work there by ShogunCho and the German army. Victory points wise, slightly hit ShogunCho or Sotjador. Actually decent lead. More mines there. Good spot by Sotjador. Looks like ShogunCho's lowering them on out, trying to push it against Sotjador, who's a bit more on the defensive. Five killed, closing right to them. The T-70 got conscript versus forces up close. T-70, and there you go. We got grenades off the conscripts, burning them out a bit, and there you go. Almost got a wipe. He almost got a wipe. Can he land it? And there we go. A loss for ShogunCho in the 11th Panzer Division. A full squad of forces there annihilated, cut down in cold blood here by Sotjador. McKenna moving up, hit back here, reinforcement healing going on there for Sotjador, but nothing further. Still no sign of the guardsmen. Penals moving up in the west, back here, troops healing, reinforcing, at least reinforcing. He has pretty much just put himself reliant on medical supplies here for the time being. They're currently not. I mean, admittedly, most of the infantry he's using actually doesn't need the medics long term. I mean, at some point the forces would hit the veterans required to then get self-healing, similar with the fallschirmjaegers. So in the end, I mean, if he just goes for full gun leads and the fallschirmjaegers, I mean, theoretically doesn't need the medics as badly there. Theoretically, anyways. 6-3 on the way there for Sotjador. Okay, no victories in the centre there. Slow creep there, and we got the Lux moving out as well here. Skirmishing these, got Sturmpion versus Penal Troopers, heavy cover, and Sturmgewehren. That's already no mind happy for Sotjador. He's definitely expecting a push there from ShogunCho, though ShogunCho has yet to really make the effort towards the push. He's also very close to the Panzer IV. And I do imagine that's going to be ShogunCho's move. Then again, double Academy efforts could indicate he might be planning for something a bit more ambitious. Panther possibly. Or he could be completely nuts and go for a King Tiger, which would very much be nuts. There you go, mine's being swept for something up. There comes the negative cover being brutally shredded out in the open. Oh, he failed to move with the mine. We can see there Sotjador set it off with the anti-tank. Rob's a good move there, but he can assault now, but the Fulton's pushed back. And the West, we've got the Pims there watching as the point is somehow seized. My god, they're using magic. No, it's just someone hiding, grabbing the point. Magic! No, it's camouflage. Stop doing that. I hate people from Siberia. They're superstitious. T-Spin getting the Fulton in the east. Holy smokes, really just taking out the Fulton is heavily. Fun grenade there, forcing over the Pilgrims there from the west. Like, oh, he also retreats there, interesting enough, but all the way the push for the western fuel point is over once more for ShogunCho, and he does go for the Panzer IV, nothing more ambitious than that. And certainly that's going to be a workable choice. As for Sotjador, he might want to consider taking up soon. The faster he can hit ShogunCho with the tanks, the better. Fix up the looks, healing enforcement happening. Oh, the cannon was spotted and pushed away there. The 2 points why ShogunCho still has a lead here with Sotjador, and we got the Panzer IV there for ShogunCho, the Model J, which technically actually had wire mesh. I think in most cases armored skirts, though I think some of the early models didn't. But soon as the war went on, the side skirts would have been shifted out in favour of wire mesh, which had the advantage amongst other things, because requiring less steel. But also believe the theory was in ways being better designed for dealing with anti-tank weapons like bazookas and such. In fact, the Russians adopted something more or less similar for their T-34s by the late stages of the war. Sort of with the bed frame looking sort of tight skirts they adopted there. And apparently they were industrially made and not just, well made out of bed frames. So there you go, looks down. Almost lost Scotland Kennels with a satchel charge, kind of pulling through the centre. Filgan being overwhelmed, right, a bit of a bad situation of the start. He's calling in the guardsmen, which can help stall the Panzer IV a bit if they had time to upgrade with the DP light machine gun. Currently they don't. Mine's going off as ShogunCho push ahead, but this is a really good push there for ShogunCho. Not a good move, development there for Sotjador, but he does push back the Panzer IV. Does get some kills. And he was able to actually save the fuel cache, which is actually kind of good for him. Looks like another Fulton squad, the bit the dust here for ShogunCho, noting he's actually now got 2 fallschirmjäger squads, but still some heavy loss that he's suffering. And we got another truck on the way of ShogunCho. There's going to be the Belgrave headquarters for healing and reinforcement, possibly some artillery as well, which would be a good choice. And, also the potential they're setting up for the King Tiger. And as all this is happening though, Sotjador had the longer, plan in mind, actually hitting the eastern fuel point as well. Good work though, he hit a mine there from ShogunCho. Another hit from the fuel gun there on the Panzer IV, pushing it back further away from the front. Fallschirmjäger forced retreat. T-Stev is straight to the Panzer IV, but needs to pull back that Panzer IV. My god, ShogunCho, what are you doing? That could be a field gun anywhere near here to take it out. That was absurdly risky there by ShogunCho. You should just pull it back to the base honestly for repairs. And also I don't think necessarily some repair partners with bad choices are there for ShogunCho. Would help, ease off a management load there, since he wouldn't have to manage the Panzer IV and the Sturm partners at the same time. He could just, pull it back, get repaired, and of course pay attention to the icon up there and then again moving back once it's fully repaired. So that could, I think, be a good idea there for ShogunCho. A really good idea. Right now he should reclaim the fuel he needs from Sotjador, and that it only max amount of the Sotjador. I mean, I would say stabilised quite well, so going for the mechanized armor company and putting up armor there, I think would be pretty good. But there you go. Kampfgruppe Hauptquartier up there for ShogunCho and the 11th Panzerdivision. Guardsmen constantly about here. Flank could be handy there, though of course artillery would as well. Now we see ShogunCho is actually going for MG34. Feels a bit late, but not too late either. But could have been out soon, I think. Seizing this some fuel. Panzer IV good to go. Medics for ShogunCho, but no pioneers there. Panzer IV should get moving soon here, and there you go. Four vets. MG34 out there for ShogunCho. And there you go. Sotjador here more or less has made intent already clear, but he's now making the push up the eastern side. And ShogunCho is just going to counter-attack by attacking head-on. Damn the consequences and the potential field gun. Someone there you go, Flume sitting up. He could flank the Panzer IV. And in fact, that's what exactly he's going to do. Or at least try to. ShogunCho probably should have flanked there instead of just head-on. And he needs to get the field Panzer IV out there. It's still in the arc of fire. Scheiße. Shogun, what is your major malfunction? Loses the Panzer IV. They're way too slow response. I mean, it could have been some misclicks with trying to handle other things, but generally just always, in these situations, try to click as far away as possible. That was just slightly further away there, and not necessarily again without the arc of fire. So big loss there for ShogunCho. Big win for Sotjador. Getting rid of the Panzer IV was definitely a bit embarrassment there for ShogunCho. Not something he should have allowed that easily. And of course now very much allows Sotjador to just pull ahead because he's now attacking as well. He's going to get out a K1 or T-34, bunch of them anyways. And ShogunCho's going to have, well, 2 Raketenwerfers to stop that. That was definitely not the strongest move there. We'll see if he goes for another Panzer IV. He's now just stalling for the King Tiger here, the Königstiger. Got the HT centering about there. Fallschirmjaegers hiding out. Will he be paying attention? Oh, there we go. He's going to Panzer fast here from the trees and then probably retreat. Nicely done there by ShogunCho. Onagin could have been just tried to wait around here instead. Bait out some infantry. In this case, he's using the T-center to grab the point, so we wouldn't be able to do anything about it anyways. Engineers straight into the fallschirmjaegers. FT-40s ruthlessly executing the rations without mercy. It's a bit of a standoff here. I mean, right now I think ShogunCho would benefit a lot from light infantry on a 2 to provide artillery support against Sotjador, smoke screens as well. Plus just pressuring the support weapons, so I think definitely the optimal choice here for ShogunCho. In particular, I think he's going to stall for the King Tiger. Some artillery just put pressure on Sotjador would be very useful. And honestly, the light infantry gun is a pretty solid piece of artillery, so using it for that would be very strong there by ShogunCho. Seems like he's not much of an artilleryman. Mortar for Sotjador, so he's bringing up his own artillery, just sort of the light one. Of course, he's got the field gun attack as an additional backup artillery piece if it comes down to it. Either way, that definitely conveys the artillery advantage to Sotjador against ShogunCho, who's got nothing. Nada. And before other being repulsed by the field gun, Veteran Sheet 2, very good work there by Sotjador. 2 machine guns, one covering the eastern victory point. And now we can see Sotjador's actually catching up here with ShogunCho and the fascists under his command. But, I mean, he can go for the Panther soon, but it's very much starting to look a lot like the Königstiger. It's beginning to look a lot like Blitzkrieg. Really big tanks which are going to break all the bridges and our logistics tree, because someone didn't think this through. And training for the fuel point there. Stumpuni are straight into a well-fortified point here by Sotjador. Mortars, Garson hitting the dirt, field guns, Maximum hitting the T-70. This is again in the sort of situation where he needs artillery. He's calling it an airstrike instead, which requires him to active line of sight for it. And the question, of course, well, it does seem to cause a full retreat there for Sotjador, which is handy. But close to losing a faction squad to the country up close. Need to retreat like Ken. If I like Ken, we'll need to get out of there. Oh, might be using it. Oh yeah, he's just falling back here. This is not really working out there for ShogunCho, imagine the way he had hoped. A few hits there from the Stuka Kanonenvogel, as it was called. Basically just a Stuka with 2 30mm cannons under its wings. Engaging ground targets. I believe it was reasonably effective at it, partly because it was active designed for attacking ground targeting. It's just initially, dive bomber. I still had some effects there. Volkswagen's what in fact means now ShogunCho is down to Sturm Pioneers and fallschirmjaegers. All the Volkswageners are dead. They're dead, Heinz. They're down to just elite now. Well, it could have been worse. It could have been the other way around. Yeah, except for, also manpower upkeep. Don't talk about it. K1 on the way there for Sotjador, but yeah. ShogunCho is very much a Königstiger man. Possibly assembling them, as a hobby as well. Different King Tiger kits. Which, he's got displayed, across his desk and other things. Maybe even a poster. And of course the requisite I love Königstigers t-shirt. Trans the MD-34 here. Very close to the King Tiger there. They're very close. A few moments off. But we got the key one out here first for Sotjador for the dead enemy. Fallschirmjaegers here trying to believe we got Pentblast off the T-70 running up. They could maybe get it, but he's already been pulling back here. And gets the T-70. A nice shot there. They go bomb grenade on the bunch up guard from the Maxim. Oh, snap! Betting the field of Fallschirmjaegers, and the Maxim goes down. The crew got it like fish. But now it's time for ShogunCho to unleash his Wunderwaffen, the Königstiger, the Tiger 2, or the Tiger B. Sturmpuni need to retreat here. Troops are healing and forcing. Equipped with an 88mm high velocity gun, it could pretty much punch through the armor of most targets in the war. D-34 needs to retreat, King Tiger moving out. No pin up machine in there though for him, and there you go, Maxim caught out in the open. Shot penetrating the King Tiger's frontal armor. Shot bounced. And the Maxim that's repulsed by the Königstiger. We got air recons in here, and of course smoke screen at the same time. Attack ground here through it. I mean, it's not like the King Tiger can move much elsewhere, so the smoke screen in that sense does do a lot here. More support for the King Tiger, I think would have been a grand idea there. I can't have spotted it. Sotjador manages going for the tank shot there to deal with the King Tiger. Very good decision. Guardsmen in the dirt, they're making themselves easy targets for the King Tiger if it would stand still. But there you go, Fallschirmjaegers leading the assault. One veteran to 3, one veteran to 2. Fallschirmjaegers there, the veteran to 3 ones are taking heavy damage there, and grenades going off as well there. King Tiger receiving immediate repairs. Repair pioneers would still be a great choice for ShogunCho for the German army. In the fight, some penal troops there, continuing their work of harassment against ShogunCho and the 11th Panzer Division. Issue-5 tanks are being rolled up here to the front line. No, there was also the Issue-5 M, which actually using this chassis meant for the Issue 100 while they were still waiting there for the gun to the Issue 100 to arrive. Fun fact. Penetrating the King Tiger. Focusing down the KD-1. Down to half health, they're having suffered quite a bit of abuse at the hands of the German Panzerwaffe. Mortar being pushed back here, rather exposed position. King Tiger down to half health, need to pull that one out of there. Almost got the King Tiger, but it dodged most of the shots. In the east there, fuel point almost grabbed here by Sotjador. We got the double fallschirmjäger squad bringing in there to repulse them, to flash them out like the insects they are. The vermin. In this case, note he's trying to take a more hook move around there, wanting to threaten the calf point of the penal troopers there, increasing the chance of getting a wipe if the Sotjador too slow to retreat. Plus, I mean, if he just attacks it on this direction, there's a sandbag, so I mean, there's more reason for... Oh! He was trying to catch up, I think the K1 then set running into a massive horde of angry Russians. Very lucky here for ShogunCho did not lose a single gun. He's moving at the King Tiger again. He really should prioritize getting it fixed up. I mean, again, repair pioneers would help you know how to manage less with it. Get the King Tiger out of there, Shogun. Get the King Tiger out of there. It's made out of Krupp steel, not mithril. And lost the King Tiger. That was definitely a really awkward play there by ShogunCho. Like, that just didn't make any sense in sending a heavily damaged King Tiger head on into an area he knew his opponent had anti-tank weapons, you know, waiting for it. That was just... I'm not entirely sure what ShogunCho was thinking there. Like, he just got greedy, he just made a bad call, got a bit frustrated, a bit tilted, I don't know, but that was not good use of the King Tiger. And certainly might indicate he's suffering a bit from a case of time evasion. He's focusing too much in the centre, and certainly to an extent Sotjador is. So part of it is just he's constantly being attacked there, so obviously he has to respond to ShogunCho's movements there. We'll see what ShogunCho does next, but that King Tiger loss stings quite badly. More fallschirmjägers out here for ShogunCho. That is a lot of fallschirmjägers, by the way. 3 squads of them. But the loss of the King Tiger is nonetheless a massive issue. Lost the machine gun there, but was able to, I think, dodge an enemy. Got a Kednev was there at the ready to deal with the K1. Blend cover grenade off it to car against the machine gun. Not bad, not bad. Sturm Pine is advancing. Veteran 3, in fact, about to Veteran 4. And there we go. Routing slightly on the west, even with the loss of the King Tiger. ShogunCho, of course, is a formidable opponent, though he probably would have been more formidable with a functioning King Tiger. Just saying. Lots of a Kednev on the K1. Now the T-Small here for Sotjador to help deal with the infantry. Fallschirmjägers is going to need another blend curve, I think. So they don't hide themselves off. Okay, troops reinforcing. Those should just retreat, to be honest. Pushing up the west side here, he's trying to sneak up with the Kednev. He's got a lot of mines here about this, he needs to be careful. And those fallschirmjägers just need to, well, that fallschirmjäger just needs to retreat. He's just down to 1, he's not even plural anymore. Big push with the Gasping Penals was there from Sotjador. T-Small almost done. ShogunCho could go for a Panther 4. Instead, he's going for Volksgrenadiers now. And he's either thinking another KV-1 or a Panther here, rather than, say, a Panther 4 more. Victory points wise, ShogunCho though is enjoying a lead still here versus Sotjador, having slightly reversed the situation once more, but for how much longer can he maintain this? I think it's going to be the trouble here for ShogunCho. Reinforcement got the fallschirmjäger up the Sturm Panzer against the counter in the centre. Both veterans before. Blend cover here will be great against the maximum. Got a field gun barrage off. Sturm Pioneers make sure whether they can't until they get suppressed, suffering losses from the field gun as well. Again, Panther 4 does not seem to be in the cards here for ShogunCho, so the question is the Panther or is it another King Tiger? A King Tiger I think would be too many resources you just have to like do nothing with for that amount of time. Whereas a Panther would be a faster option, also helpful as the K1, the T7 of course and other stuff. But we'll see what ends up with ShogunCho. Spare Panther Corps being engaged and he loses that, which seems very likely. It's going to have to be the King Tiger because he's going to have any option for the Panther or the Panther 4 there. There you go. Pop goes that weasel. So highlighting the danger of positioning a Spare Panther Corps in spots like that. As now ShogunCho is just lacking any of his late game armor options except again another King Tiger. Oh, got a wipe. A small victory there for ShogunCho in a sea of otherwise grave misfortune. I came coming up there. Fallschirm can't find it. Grenade off of the mortar. Almost got the feeling as well. Eventually 5 fallschirmjaegers suddenly having an impact there. Almost got the T-7 with the Kednef, but he's about to lose the Kednef as well. Gets the T-7, needs to retreat the Kednef. Get the Kednef out of there. Schnell! Rückzug! And it goes down. He's lost the Kednef crew there. Big loss for ShogunCho. Big loss. K1 moving ahead here. The Kednef needs to fall back as well. Sturmpioneer on a heated run here against Sotjador. Shots fired, flanking in there. Send the Armored thing something in, but I don't think it is enough there. K1 there, dropping low on health, veteran feeling like Kednef. We got a bombardment there, he really wants it dead. Before it takes out his K1, which certainly starting to look like it could end up. No, gets wiped by the last hit. And ShogunCho is trying to stall again for the King Tiger because he's got literally no other options, but he's just bleeding out so brutally in the process. He just really does not seem to be a big flanker here against Sotjador. Just not a big flanker. He's not far off from the second King Tiger. Meanwhile, though, Sotjador's bringing up more T-34s, more armor in this case. Straight to the maximum again. No idea what ShogunCho is thinking about except trying to get the points in the east. And there you go, sneak out the other squad here to flank in, I think. If we can get up close, pop a bomb grenade, he might have a chance to get some of the stuff, and the machine gunner just needs to get the hell out of there. And there we go. I mean, wiping the veteran free field gun is actually pretty good there for ShogunCho. That's at least the experience gun. Veteran 4 gain on that unit as well. Bomb grenade off, and doesn't quite have the impact he'd hoped for there, I imagine. In the west, Sturmpioneer, veteran fireball. You need to put away the mines, but there you go. Clip the penal troopers up close. Concussive grenade could be helpful. There you go. Start to charge off. There we go. Veteran 5 Sturmpioneers there are quite impactful in terms of firepower, but they are exposed to low on health and probably should be retreating. And there you go. Second King Tiger out for ShogunCho. Can he redeem himself? Can he pull through for victory for the fatherland with this Königstiger? I mean, he's mostly got a scratch force left, so he's going to have to really make some smart moves with this King Tiger, I think, to have a chance here. Sturmpioneers being violently pursued here with the T-34. Machine gun there, drop, by the way. A lot of webs up. And there you go. Hits a mine. Can he catch up with the King Tiger taken out? Machine gun coming to the center, repositioning just as the Russians move in there. Fallschirmjäger should be good to go. Others grabbing points here. He's very much in pursuit, but decides against it. Goes for the center victory point, which he shed so much blood over. So much oil. Fallschirmjäger can turn the game. The Guardsman caught in a pretty bad spot. There you go, repulsed. Teams moving up against the 5 Fallschirmjägers. Bomb grenade. More Fallschirmjägers arriving there. King V1 taking a hit here. Field gun there about to get wiped out with the double Fallschirmjäger squads. King Tiger, those shields will probably get at range with the H-5. Panzerfaust off here, damaging the engine. But he lacks firepower, I think, to really break through without a flank. Troops are healing and enforcing. Abandoning the center victory point for now. We have 236 versus 225. More infantry, I think, is going to be needed here for ShogunCho. No matter how elite some of these Sturmpioneers and Fallschirmjägers are, with that few numbers, I'm not entirely sure you can sort of really pull it through on their own. Unless he pulls off some sort of absolute stroke of genius that completely blows Sotjador's mind. H-5 being prioritised here, probably the best choice since it's going to be performed better versus the King Tiger. And say the K1 or the T-34. Okay, now for number 2 destroyed, annihilated, shattered. Going up with the King Tiger from the front again. Splats out Petrov there. Going for the victory point there. And you've opened the conscript, suppressing them. Seizing the western victory point. 233 versus 225. Not entirely sure what ShogunCho's next plan is. I mean, you could also consider maybe like a Pat Puma to help the King Tiger by just trying to flank you the H5. That could be an idea there actually for ShogunCho. Sort of a Puma to back it up that way might be an idea. But either way though, ShogunCho needs to get more troops on the field now and more vehicles. He just needs to put more pressure on Sotjador. And of course he needs to pull off some really strong flanks. Repair pioneers, by the way, would still be a really good choice as well there, I think, for ShogunCho. A kidnap on the way there. K1 H5 sitting out here. Fallschirmjaegers standing on watch. Air recon's in there, possibly doubling as a smoke. Trying to figure out there what Sotjador's up to. Using the King Tiger in this case, taking advantage of the smoke screen here. Lands a decent hit on the guardsman, taking out half the unit, sending the rest running away like rats. And then these nice playing at the pillars there, sending machine gun running, leaving the eastern victory point open. Rushing for the center one, Sturm husband crow for the smoke. Kamikaze grenade here on the Maxim. But he's still forced to retreat. Engineers are going to brush right past the fallschirmjaegers. Other squad needs to retreat from the point. There's a T forming in. They're going to engineers route it. So hitting the King Tiger. I mean, you really need to find some other path rather than straight ahead here, because I mean, this is where all of Sotjador's anti-tank weapons will be aiming. He needs to catch them off guard somehow. And again, this is also where Puma could partly, pull the role of bait, just force them to react to this, and then attack with the King Tiger from the front. We got more fallschirmjaegers set here for ShogunCho. Here to defend the eastern fuel point. Victory points wise is 212 and 229. Still, ShogunCho is rebuilding his forces slowly but surely, but is it enough? Is it enough? Fallschirmjaegers probably need to get into cover there. They outnumber most of the veteran free penal troopers. And that ends up with a retreat there for ShogunCho and the 11th Panzer Division, unfortunately. Chief of all there on watch. Back to Kingdom Enforcement. Fallschirmjaegers moving in. Two highly veteran squads with the guard penal troopers there. Veteran finally getting the army. Got air support calling to break up this elite assault. We got bang and assault finally happening here. In this case, it's not fast enough to outrun the Red Army Air Force machine that's get wiped out. And it is more or less, I think, looks like with the entire, so we say, thing collapses here for ShogunCho. King Tiger is just a massive target here for all of the tank destroyers and anti-tank guns. His infantry is being routed. He's lost his machine gun. He's just not making any serious progress. He still hasn't bothered to repair ponies on the mechanized regiment either. Yeah, there we go. Seems like he's just stopped caring much in the King Tiger from the front. There we go. Main gun out, and with this, ShogunCho runs off. The 11th Panzer Division has suffered a loss here to the Red Army. To the 10th Guards Mechanized Corps. A vicious battle here, which ShogunCho I think initially did reasonably well, but mid-game his armor play I would say was a bit sloppy. They were both the Panther and the King Tiger. I'm not entirely sure what's going on there with ShogunCho's unit armor preservation, but it rather resulted in easy kills for Sotjador, allowing him to actually gain the armor edge, and particularly the loss of the King Tiger was crippling on top of the Schwerpunter quarters going down. So while the fallschirmjäger play was interesting, I think he could have backed it up with some actual more van assault rather than right here at the end, and he should have been flanking well out. There's definitely also a case of tunnel vision there from ShogunCho, which further made things easier for Sotjador. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it, and a big thanks to Jeremy for pledging on Patreon and support the Propagandacast. Most appreciated, and a big thanks to Timmer for donating and support the Propagandacast and allowing me to keep doing what I do day after day. So big thanks to both of you. You're amazing people. So thank you all, and see you all tomorrow for another episode. Bye.